Olympians win medals and laurels for us, it is the same feelings that we should have, So we are so glad. Of course, welcome to the tidbit segment where we'll be bringing to you a lot of sporting gist.
Christian Order, that Billy is also your Christian. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Senator. Good morning, Ferdinand. Abuja Trust will have a wonderful night rest. Let's pick up from the para games that will be going down. I actually said always that when it comes to para games, that is where our strength lies in Nigeria when it comes to the Olympics. And it's a good one for the para games to begin here at the Federal Capital Territory. Just last week, within this week even, an organization over there in Benue State talking about ELIM organized a para competition for the disabled. And it was a wonderful one where, though it was just for 2 local governments within the Igidi extraction, where you have the Oji local government and Obi local government compete against themselves. And it was a wonderful one because if you see the potential, like I felt, wow, there's actually ability in every disability. And just recently, I think the chairman of persons living or people living with disability just bashed, I think, a PhD from the University of Jos. So there's a huge potential lying within the disabled people, as we will see them. They have a whole lot of abilities, and I can only say that much support and attention should be given to them because they give us more medals than the ones we call the abled.
All right, about 36 states of the, including the Federal Capital Territory and also other states, and we'll be having over 3,000 athletes converge here in Abuja to actually slug it out during this time. But again, it has always been talk. If you get to the National Stadium, talking about the MKO Abiola Stadium, it's disheartening to see the state of affairs, not even the structure per se now, but the kind of atmosphere that you see, even the athletes that are not with disabilities, not to even talk about those who are with disabilities, the state of things, the way things are going, the manner in which you see the atmosphere in which they train, and also the inhabitation. It's so sad. It's so sad.
Yeah, Collins, it's part of the conversation again because it all boils down to where does our interest lie? Like you said, this is a time where this event should have been beamed both in local and international and terrestrial satellite. Where people all across the world should be seeing the talent that
these people have given us more Olympic medals.
So they should have received more attention than the pre-Olympic trials that we'll be having for the ables. So and then you talked about third out also, where we should be expecting fans, sport-loving people of Abuja to come out en masse, and show support to these, para teams. And so I feel it's all about attention. Yes, like you said, it's not. Imagine it's happening in Abuja right now, but it is few people that are talking about it.
Very few.
Yeah, and
Very
then
few.
And then that is the kind of negative vibes that we also give to the event because we don't talk about it. We don't see it. It's just like a week ago that we start talking about para. What happens the pre-preparation to this tournament,
exactly. Yes.
What has the ministry had in plan? Because this event did not just wake up one day and say it's going to host today.
Absolutely.
It's something that it's part of the sporting calendar in the ministry. So what was their preparation? Did they put the membol, into shape? Did they, do a lot of...
I was at the stadium all throughout the weekend. Even in the indoors, there is nothing.
Senator,
if you are going to the stadium, sorry, Christian, close your eyes.
The thing is, at first, I will fault the federation, the para federation. Now, what has been their responsibility? What did they submit to the ministry? Because if the ministry cannot just come and detect that you are having a headache, you should first report that I am having a headache. And this is my plan. I want to buy a paracetamol, or I want to buy any other thing to take out to cure my headache. Now, if the para federation is not doing enough,
para athletes will do competition. Able administrators will eat the money.
We eat the money.
Now this is where the challenge is. He's talking about they coming out to complain. Now the question is this: are you telling me that you've not heard about one form of complaint or the other coming from the Para Federation, in case you pretend not to, may have heard on several occasions. So it's not something it's not like they're not talking.
Yeah, but the complaints are not just basically on para athletes. Now, I think generally we have lots of complaints in Nigeria about our athletes.
But the question is this, sorry for cutting you. We've watched the international event, the Olympics, the international para championships and all of that. Now look at the level that some other international para Olympians or athletes have. Look at the exposure and the coverage.
It's a fiesta.
It's a fiesta. Then why would it come back home now in Nigeria? And then these guys, sometimes you need to look at where they train. It is pathetic.
Do they train? Now, who train them?
In fact,
most of them have their personal coaches.
Even talk about the training. Please just take a walk to the National Stadium this weekend and even see the kind of apparels donned by these para athletes. You will weep and cry.
I remember, Senator, years ago when a para athlete who represented Benue State, I think went far as much as representing Nigeria, was still begging on the street. A para athlete.
All right, and that's why Tekno is saying this morning. It go better. All right, let's move on quickly. We'll definitely be dwelling more on it during our evening sport today. So join us again by 8 p.m. today after Club 911. Yes, Club 991 here on your darling dad. Meanwhile, let's quickly get to the CAF Awards and perhaps set the tone for the discussion in the evening. We have Nigerians all in 5 major categories. Would we be able to win all? The men player of the year, we have our own Victor Osimhen. The women's player of the year, Asisat Oshoala. Women's goalkeeper of the year, Chiamaka Nnadozie. The women's player of the year, Deborah Abiodun. Talking about the young player of the year. The women's national team of the year, we have Nigeria. Can we come home with these 5 major categories?
I don't think so. I can confidently say that we should be able to come back with the goalkeeper of the year, should be able to come back with the male player of the year, should be able to come back with the youngest female player of the year. Now, when you come to the team of the year and the female player of the year, talking about Asisat Oshoala, Asisat Oshoala, for me, at the continental level, has really not been that impressive. Yes, in her club side, she is sterling performance. But at the continental level, when she puts on the great white and green jersey, what happened? It's a different ball game. And CAF Award should be based on not what you contribute.
But CAF have actually used a club
versus, which for me is not supposed to be.
Let's defy a bit. We shouldn't just be talking about Asisat probably wearing the colors of Football Club Barcelona. Now we should also talk about Asisat playing for the Super Falcons of Nigeria. She has, for me, she is the highest.
The last female World Cup.
All the female World Cup she has participated. She's the Nigerian highest goal scorer in the FIFA Female World Cup. And so there are some things that she has done on the silent that some people sometimes we don't report, we don't talk about them. And I feel I've been unfair to this lady. In this last World Cup, she played through with injury, with pains, all through. And then whenever she comes up, sometimes she also delivered the goods. Injury have not really favored Asisat Oshoala in recent times, And then whenever she comes up, she tries within her best to at least deliver the goods. So, you will not see the same
Oshoala you see. The same Oshoala in Barcelona jersey.
Most times, I can tell you with statistics. When Asisat Oshoala dons the green-white jersey, she has a mixed, inconsistent performance. But give it to her the following weekend in the shirt of Barcelona, she has at least a hat-trick. Now, I can give you instances.
Yeah, of course. We cannot compare what we played or the national team football with what happens at the club.
Yeah, because
some factors. There's so many factors that surround that. So I just feel, for me, I feel Asisat Oshoala had even overachieved, playing for the Super Falcons. Yes, at the continental level.
No doubt. He's the highest winner of the African female player of the year.
So if she is able to back this one, it will be on record, both female and male, in terms of history. She will be the highest, African to have ever done or won that award. And so for me, Asisat Oshoala, yes, she still has some few years on her legs to carry with the Falcons. All we need right now is sometimes to try and encourage. Like I also often say sometimes, even the media also has a way, because like you said, I wouldn't be shocked if Victor Osimhen ends up not winning the African Footballer of the Year. The reasons are
he has Mohamed Salah and Hakimi.
And then the reasons are, the North African politics that goes into the voting, and then the Francophone region also, how they see the Nigerian, football fraternity. So for me, like I said, it has always been politics winning the CAF Player of the Year.
It's actually been
It's more politics than even the footballing aspect. So I wouldn't be surprised.
We have two people from North Africa now, so it should be a divided vote. There should be a block vote from West Africa.
That's where the challenge is.
That's where the challenge is, because the Francophone nations might not possibly give us their vote.
Might not possibly give us their votes because they might tend to lean towards that region. So it's quite pathetic. Like Osimhen won the Serie A Player of the Season. When the 11 best players of the team were announced, and then they were asked on the stage who they actually voted. 7 out of the 11 players voted Victor Osimhen. And then I was quite shocked that his teammate, Scavia, the Georgian player, said he didn't vote Osimhen. So I was quite kind of surprised. Your teammate, you didn't vote yourself, and then you didn't vote your own player. And so this is to tell you how sometimes these things has gone political way more than the football. And then I wouldn't be surprised. He's one of the playmakers in Napoli, and no wonder he hardly gives the ball to Victor Osimhen whenever he has the ball. We now all know where the rivalry is coming from.
Exactly. All right, let's move on quickly. Let's us announce to Nigerians that the chairman of the NPFL League, who doubles as the second vice president of the Nigerian Football Federation, Honorable Gbenga Elegbeleye, yesterday inaugurated the NPFL Youth League Under 17 Youth Committee members, and they have Pastor Emeka Sabo Abdullahi Ekai, member, Prince Dapo Ajibade, assistant project coordinator, who will be working with him in that office as assistant project coordinator is Aliu Lawal Ibrahim, and lastly but not the least, Dr. Sunday Johnson of Baseki is the secretary.
Quickly because yesterday I also had an opportunity to have looked at that list, and then Mr. Collins, one thing that comes to mind the moment I saw this was, why under 17?
Why not under 13?
Yeah, why not a developmental plan like we see in clubs like in Europe, where they have the under 13, the under 17, the under 16, the under 12, the criteria for registering.
And that's currently as a female team.
Which should be a criteria for registering a professional club. What is wrong with they also having all of these structures around the team? So academy. So it will help even the main team. It will take pressure.
Well, with the new one by the NPFL team management, maybe it will now spur clubs to begin to look into that direction, because I'm sure no club will want to be left out of that under 17 youth league. Let's quickly move on, guys. This morning, I could remember vividly that at exactly as at October 27th, they were sitting at the top of the summit of the English Premier League, talking about
Now, yesterday,
what's happening to Tottenham?
Yesterday, after that goal, after that error that came from the defense, and the goalkeeper, I don't know the kind of style he wanted to do, and that goal came at that minute. Immediately they go, whether it's Champu Honfu, or I don't know, but immediately I just said, Tottenham is somewhere else now. Now, I felt the hurricane factor in Tottenham. And I saw Declan Rice.
But they've actually gone beyond that.
Yes.
It's a club that won both player and manager of the month.
Yes. But
October.
When I saw Declan Rice with his colored hair, I was just like, oh, Rice, what is really going on? Now, if you see the way certain things pan out for Tottenham, you just feel that no, Tottenham is really not in this game. Now, at the point, even their match where...
Are you hungry for Rice? Declan Rice and Tottenham. I don't understand.
I was looking at him with
Declan Rice and
Declan Rice from Arsenal. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Now, when I saw Son yesterday, I just felt Son needs someone to support him in Tottenham. Now, if you see the style of play for Tottenham now, it's not really the Tottenham we used to know.
Where did they got it wrong?
There was a point where they played with serious determination.
From the beginning of the season, they were serious title contenders.
Yeah, something happened, and then people sometimes tend to forget. Now, the Tottenham starting 11 right now has been dilapidated by either injuries or things. And then the depth of the squad is not as big as we
But
think. Now, the likes
they are
of
not among the first 5 teams with highest numbers of injury in the English Premier League.
No.
I can tell you.
now, but we're looking at the caliber of players. Now, you are talking about teams that made them.
Where did the drift now come from? Because if they had their legs on the pedal so solidly from the beginning of the season and just 15 games gone, you already start noticing.
There's something that affected
let me
Arsenal
talk.
last season at the tail end of the season is what is falling on
I'm
Tottenham
looking
now.
at Tottenham when they have the likes of Sarr combining with Bissouma in the midfield and then Maddison in front of them. It gives them that balance. And then when you look at the number of wins they had, Maddison was just the creator behind Son. And then right now they lack that creativity, they lack that spark. Since he had gone to that lengthy injury.
It doesn't now show that post Antilogu actually came with a cameo and cosmetic kind of I am a good coach, because he won the coach of the month August, September, October. No coach has ever done it in the history of the English Premier League. 3 times consecutively winning the coach of the month, and now the drift has suddenly come with
because the team, like I mentioned, like right now, Sarr is not there. The other guy, Maddison, is injured for more than 3 to 4 games now that they've been losing. The balance in the defense also, the other Argentine player, Romeo, 3-match suspension.
That's what I'm saying.
Now, when the span of your team,
the depth in squad,
it's a challenge for him.
Seriously. That he didn't see it pre-season to see that, okay, look, what if the unforeseen circumstance come up and this happens?
Tottenham does not have the funds to support him. It's obvious that Levy does not have that kind of funds.
With the sweet words that have come from.
No, I don't think Daniel Levy doesn't have the fund to support.
He doesn't spend.
But Daniel Levy doesn't spend.
It's a known fact.
He's highly technical. He's technically selfish with his spendings when it comes to buying players.
All right. Let's talk about Everton. Psychologically massive for them. Now they are out of the bottom 3. If they can actually scale through, I think you must give it to Everton. They will, no doubt, for me, be the team of the season. If they don't go relegation at the end of the season.
The brand of football they play right now, I'm quite surprised that it's Sean Dyche that is playing that brand of football, because we know him with packing the balls and then
they just told themselves,
and
the worst has happened.
Yes, the worst has happened.
Let's just go for it.
And then even the game they lost against the last match they lost, it was because of some superiority dominance by the team they met on that day. But on the balance of play, I was telling somebody that this Everton team that I'm seeing among all the teams that are battling for relegation, I cannot put them in that category because they have something that is going for them right now. They believe they're going to games now, believing that they can win.
Massive 3-0 yesterday against
Newcastle that demolished Manchester United and demolished everything that they got to meet at home.
Scattered Chelsea, broke the Stamford Bridge.
So right now, seeing them struggle against Everton yesterday was a testament to the job that the gaffer has done so far. So all we could see right now is that at least, like you said, we cannot count them to be among the team that's going to be struggling. Because when you look at the likes of Luton Town, near syndrome against Arsenal, they nearly won, but Arsenal came back and pulled the victory. Against Liverpool, they were leading until the tail end of the match, and then the young man from Colombia came and equalized for them and made it 1-1. But when you look at the likes of other teams, Bournemouth also are beginning to peak right now. True. They are winning points home and away. These are teams that ordinarily we thought that they are going to be in the relegation battle. But for me, Luton Town, Sheffield, and Burnley better watch out, because it looks like these are the 3 teams right now that
they might not end.
That's if they are able to consistent.
Yes, they're able to be consistent in their performance, because if you look at their style now, you discover that there's a lot more of improvement after they went down on that pains of the point deduction.
No, they were even improved. We're talking about 14 points.
Yeah.
At that point, before 10 points was
deducted.
So a team that gathered 14 points in that number of games is obviously showing that they are on the rise to the top. But that 10 points, was massive. And then we are still hoping and waiting for what they will do to City, because for me, they just committed 1 crime. City have committed 115 or thereabout crimes. So let's see.
All right, let's go the Asian part now. Saudi Arabia has come out to say that if you are saying we can't hold the World Cup, you're actually mouth-washing. This is actually a country that has spent over £5 billion in 2021 in sport. And now they are saying that they are ready to host the World Cup. They would have bidded last time, but the extreme heat in the region actually made them to step down. But now they are saying, if you think we can't hold the World Cup, just watch and see. But that's mouthwash.
You know, that again, I used to tell people that what is happening in the Gulf of Asia right now is a tune of competition, because you and I will agree that it was a shocker to Saudi that small Qatar will be able to wrestle, will host the World
in
Cup.
Saudi's eye, they say Qatar of yesterday.
Yeah, of yesterday. So that is their pains right now. So they also want to do everything within their means to prove that, okay, the World Cup could come back to this side, and then we should have been the rightful people.
There will be the only Asian power that has actually not, the Asia and the Middle East power that has actually not hosted the World Cup. Japan, Korea did in 2002.
Yeah. So I just feel that is what their pain is right now, and then they want to bring the World Cup to Saudi Arabia, but that is a tall order. But the kind of FIFA that we are having right now, anything is possible.
I know and feel that I know that Saudi will host the World Cup. If you look at their spendings when it comes to players, I said it the other time that all of this spending is just to show that yes, we have the ability, and you just to drag the audience and viewers to their region to see that yes, if football is growing this fast, if they can sustain this development, then why not give them the bidding right, since they have already indicated interest. But I hope that, yes, Saudi will host World Cup.
All right, Saudi will host World Cup. Those are the words of Christian. But we'll definitely be leaving you with this. Where should Jadon Sancho be headed to? As it is now, reports are that Casemiro, Varane, and Jadon Sancho have been put on offer by Manchester United. And for Jadon Sancho, Ten Hag said, I will not go back on my words. I will never feature him again in the Manchester team. Ferdinand, just 2 seconds.
You know, yeah, Sancho should just find a place. I think he should go back to Germany. Probably he can rediscover himself, but he's a lazy player, no doubt about that. Ten Hag has done everything within his power to keep that young man, but the young man refused to work on himself, and then Ten Hag had no option than to let him go.
Christian.
For Sancho, I think it's high time for him to leave, actually, because it's at a point started behaving like the English boys, where their jerseys cannot be stained and they are scared of going to the ground. But for Casemiro, for now, Man U should not do the mistake of selling him.
Well, that's actually a big question I was going to ask too. Why then did you sign Casemiro and Varane if you knew that it wasn't for a long-term plan? All right, Abuja, thank you so much for being part of Sports This Beat on Nigerian Police Radio 99.1 FM. Join us at 8 p.m. Yes, for an elaborate package that will bring you away for a massive 1 hour. My name is Collins at Jibola. They call me the radio senator. On behalf of Ferdinand and Christian, do have a beautiful Friday ahead of you. And we say, Barika de Juma to our Muslim brothers and sisters. God bless you. God bless our country, Nigeria.